Hey, wives. Hello. It's still morning time. I can say good morning. It's still morning. It is still morning time. Y'all probably saying, Coach T, where you been? It's Saturday. Happy Self-Care Saturday. Cheers to the weekend. Baby, I know I'm in the right place. If it does not make you back up like that, then you did it wrong. But when you do that, I'm right where I'm supposed to be at. Yes, if that one eye don't close on the left, you ain't make it right. Okay, you ain't make it right. But if that eye close, you in the right place. Listen, y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. I am going to jump on in this thing. Not going to hold you long, especially on a self-care Saturday. Listen, it has been a very transformative week for Coach T. So this is why you're seeing me on Saturday versus on Thursday or Friday. This is why I'm here today, all right? And so I do not want to hold you long. I'm not going to keep you long today at all. I'm going to say a quick prayer. We're going to jump into this message. Father, Lord God, Jesus, be a fence. Lord, speak your word to your people. I pray that this message reaches the wives that it needs to reach. May there be no backlash. Cover us, Lord God, with your son, Jesus' precious blood. Bring forth confirmation, revelation, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And I pray for the wives who are supposed to receive this message to receive it on today. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. So we're going to just jump right into this because, like I said, I've been missing in action, okay? I've been missing in action this week. I have not posted that much on my actual profile. I've been still posting in my stories. You can always catch me on my stories if you don't catch me nowhere else. I'm on Instagram. You can always catch. I'm going to be there. I'm going to show up there. That's just part of the discipline of being a businesswoman and having to show up. It's like, I was taught is like, opening up the doors or, turning on the light to your business, letting people know that I'm open. So as a businesswoman, even if I don't show up or post anywhere else, I'm going to show up on my Instagram on my Instagram stories, right? And so today, y'all know I have a fresh word, actually, that the Lord woke me up with 4:30-ish, 4:30, 4:45-ish, because my husband was leaving for work. So it was like around 4:45-ish this morning, and I could not go back to sleep. And so anytime it's like that, I know he has something to say. Y'all see I'm wearing the butterflies today as a representative of what, the Lord has given me to share with the people. And one of the things that I heard the Lord say this morning is many of my daughters, many of the wives are going through a season of metamorphosis. Many of my daughters, many of the wives are going through a season of metamorphosis right now. All right. You're going through that season right now. And so I wanted to share with you a quick definition of what metamorphosis is. Metamorphosis is the extreme change in an organism from one form to another. It is a process of basic and unusual, rather sudden change in the form and habits of some animals during transformation from an immature stage to an adult stage. All right, from an immature stage to an adult stage. And what I got from that, what I took from that is, wives, you are coming from out of that immature stage and you're going into that more adult stage, that you're transforming from just having that milk, and you are going from that milk, and now it's time for you to get that meat. All right, it's time for you to get that meat. You are in a transformative place. You are in a transformative season. All right. And so many are being conformed during their season of transformation. They are transitioning. They are going through training. They're going through testing. They're going through trials. They're going through tribulations. Like they are going, through the change. Okay. They are going through the change. I have an encounter with, some of the wives who are going through these changes. Myself as a businesswoman and like really trying to move forward in my business, have been going through a lot of different changes. And so change is here. All right. change is here. And the question I have for you is, how are you allowing God to mold you into the person he's calling you into? How are you allowing God to mold you into the person he's calling you into? What changes have you noticed about yourself over the past 90 days? We are now in the month of March. So, I mean, we are, 3 months in to the new year, from transitioning from 2023. A lot of us have, had some highs and lows. We have had some difficult days. We have some high moments. We had some low moments. We've had some moments of, where we've had, we have triumphed over some things. And then we had some moments where we have really, really been in heavy trial and tribulation. And so one of the things I just want to bring forth to, like I say, a lot of times I'm trying to come on, I'm coming on, reintroducing myself because of so many of the new followers that I have. Just want to introduce myself as, who I am and what I do as a coach, and to really, really help wives to understand, where are you on your journey? This is a question that I ask wives on a regular, because this is something that you need to be so aware of, that when a person come and asks you that, it should just roll off the tip of your tongue. It should just roll off the tip of your tongue. It should be nothing that hinders you from answering that question. You should be fully aware of where you are on your journey. So, welcome. For some of you who may not know me, my name is Coach T. I am a mental health wife coach. And I coach wives who are going through a season of marital separation or marital hardship. Many times the wives who I am coaching may have encountered different type of seasons in their marriage that includes adultery, abandonment, addiction, mental and emotional distress. All right, mental and emotional distress. And what I do as a coach is I coach that wife through that hardship. I coach that wife through those seasons. I help that wife to understand where she is. I help that wife to understand where her husband is. I give this wife practical things to do. I give this wife, biblical principles to go by. I give her some steps that she can take to get healthy and healed for herself. Ultimately, as a wife coach, I want to help that wife to transform into a healthier version of herself. Many times the wives, they start out with me because of their marriage injury, but as we journey along, we end up walking through a season or through, a place of transformation where transformation has taken place. And I just always say it's really based on the wife and what the wife is willing to do, what the wife is willing to, invest in, and how she's willing to, go through her healing journey. All right. And so welcome. Now, one of the things that, like I said, I'm one of those coaches who I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask the hard questions. I'm going to ask the questions that's going to make you be like, I'm going to ask that question, right? I'm going to ask those kind of questions. And so, like, the last question I asked was, what changes have you noticed about yourself over the past 90 days? Are you stronger? Are you more confident? Are you more powerful? Okay. Are you more relaxed? Are you self-aware of where God is leading you? Are you fully aware of where you are on this journey? Or are you still in the same stuck position, in that same stuck place, and you're not seeing any changes? No progress has been made. You're still very unclear about what God is asking of you, right? You're unclear about what's next for you. Or maybe this restoration journey may be new for you and you're trying to figure out what your options are. All right. I want to just pause here for a moment and say to the wives who are just now starting this journey or just now becoming aware of, this restoration journey or, being reconciled or, standing for your marriage. If you are in those beginning stages of this, I want to really, really, really encourage you to get connected to a service provider who can help you in the areas, who can bring clarity to where you are and what you got going on. A lot of times when you're in those beginning stages, it's like, kind of like taking care of a brand new baby, and so not calling you a baby or not calling you a baby on your, in your walk with God, but it's really, really just helping that wife to get clarity and understanding. And one of the things I want to just also say for wives who are in places where they are just starting out, or even if they've been on this journey for a while, I want to always encourage you to remain a student. Don't ever feel like you cannot be taught. Don't ever feel like you are not, you're not teachable. Because if you're in a position where you're like, oh, I know this already. Oh, I know that already. Oh, I know that already. Then it's like, well, then what you reached out for? If you already know the answers, if you already, oh, it's all about the wording. It's like, well, I was thinking about, I wasn't really sure. Or, I thought of that, but I wasn't really sure. But it's like, oh, I know that already. And then it's like, so why you wasting our time? If you know these things already, right? And so I just always want to encourage wives to remain teachable on this journey, because blind spots are real, right? Blind spots are real. And you never know what you may be encountering. You never know how the enemy is using certain situations, certain circumstances, certain people to deceive you, right? And so remaining a student keeps you in a humble place, right? Remaining a student will keep you in a humble place, all right? So if you are in the beginning stages, I would really, really encourage you to get connected with a wife coach. Get connected with someone who can really, really help you. Get connected with someone who you feel like God is leading you to, who you can trust on this journey to help you go through the changes that need to take place as you continue to go forward on your journey. All right. Today, I want to give you 3 steps. Or just share with you, some 3 basic methods that will help you move forward on your journey, and share some, practical tips that you can begin taking as you move forward. All right. Many of you know that I am that coach who, I'm going to assess you. I'm going to do inventory. I'm going to give you an assessment. All right. I am going to track the wives that I coach and work with. I'm going to track, your progress on this journey, which is why I always say this is not like a one-time check-in type of thing. It's like, if you are only looking to just come in and peep in here and there, then you really don't really want this type of work. You're not really in that place. If you're just kind of like, well, I'm going through this with my husband, I got this going on, this and that or whatever, and I just need somebody to help me, like what I can do for this pain to stop. If you're in that place, yes, I hold space for that wife. But even in that space, you still have to continue on the journey. You still have to continue to work on yourself. You still have to continue to move in a forward place. All right. And so I'm going to be that wife coach. I'm going to always, assess you. I'm going to always, I'm taking notes. I'm asking some hard questions, and I'm asking this because I'm comparing, not necessarily you to another wife, but comparing, your situation and what you got going on to another person's situation, just to get, my ducks in order as far as how I can better communicate to my wives and helping them on this journey. If I notice that these wives are, in the same area, but they got this going on, this person got this going on, what is the common denominator in this, right? Or what is that, that familiar thing that keeps popping up, or what is that same thing that keeps popping up? And so I'm going to do that. I work with wives on a weekly basis, on a bi-weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and every 90 days basis. Okay. I work with wives on those terms. Sometimes these wives experience the highs and lows of this journey, even sometimes having to take some extra steps or repeating what I would call a buoyancy detox. with a new strategy. Okay. A lot of times I have wives who have went through the curriculum. They have gone through, the harmonious abuse. They have, went through the mental and emotional detox. They have went through these things, but now they are in another season or they're in another place on their journey. And it's like, okay, what is it that we need to detox? What is it you got going on now? What is it that we need to detox so we can give you another strategy? Because maybe your strategy that you've been using is no longer working. I've been working with one wife who, she had been, on this one prayer, doing this one thing repeatedly over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And this is one of the things I always caution wives on. It is important for you to get connected with the right source, because sometimes what you may have done in a season of the past may not necessarily be something that you can use presently. Let's go back to the story of, of that new wine. You cannot pour old wine into new, wineskins. You cannot do that. And so you're trying to use some old skills or some old lessons or some old prayers or some old methods or some old principles that may have worked at one time on your journey. But now it's like, okay, that's not working no more. I need something else. All right. And what I have discovered is a lot of times when these wives get that new strategy, they're able to pick up from where they are and continue to move forward. This is why I am that coach who's going to always encourage you to check in, to keep checking in, to keep checking in, to not let 90 days go by without you checking in, because you're thinking oh, I'm good. I feel fine. I feel great. Everything's like it's working out. You're thinking that you're okay, but you don't understand that deception is right around the corner. Okay. So I work with wives on a regular basis. I work with wives, on a weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, 90 days basis. Sometimes, like I said, these wives experience the highs and lows. As a wife coach, I help my wives transform into a healthier version of themselves while going through a marital separation. Wife, you have to understand that this journey is not only about your marriage separation. This journey is not about your marriage. This journey is not only about your husband. Your marriage injury has probably been the reason why you got to this place, but that is not what this journey is all about. Okay. The marriage injury is what led you to this place. The marriage injury is what led you to getting help. The marriage injury is what led you to, reaching out and to, seeking help for from a coach. But that is not the reason. That is not the only reason you are on this journey. All right. Wives have to really understand that. Like I said, many times wives start off their journeys with me because of their marital injury that has taken place in a marriage, and we begin going through the necessary steps of grief, because wives are going through a loss. They're going through pain. They're going through suffering. They are going through, like I said, that beginning stage, those beginning stages of, oh my God, what's going on here? A lot of times some people call it shock. People call it, shock, disbelief. They're in this place of like, this not making no sense. I don't understand like how you went from being this person into now you're this person. And so these wives are in this place, and this is normally where we start off. All right. Me as a coach, I allow wives to talk out their pain and hurt, giving them an opportunity to be heard and allowing them an outlet to express their feelings and emotions. Wives need that, right? They need that safe space. And this, again, when you find someone that works for you, hold on to that person. Don't be jumping around from this person, this person, this person, this person. No. When you find what works for you, hold on to that person. When you find what works for you, hold on to what works for you. Okay. And so this is usually like the starting point. Like I mentioned earlier, for the ones who may just now be starting out and, not really sure, this is usually the starting point. You need to talk about your grief. You need to talk about your pain. You need to talk about your emotions. You need to talk about your feelings. You're trying to figure out what's going on with your husband, how he went from being this way to now he's being this way. You need to figure this out. And so these are the beginning steps of you doing that. All right. This is where I would encourage wives. This is where I would encourage wives to start with that consultation. Okay, start with your consultation. If you are in a place where you're saying, well, hey, I cannot afford the consultation just yet, then I would encourage you to do the 30-day strategy. Okay, which is, like I said, it's like a course that I give wives. I give wives for them to go through these following steps for 30 days. Right? It's an course that I give wives to go through these steps, to follow through, read through it, get understanding, walk through those steps, get the resources that has been recommended on there, and go through those steps. All right. From there, you can decide whether or not you need to then connect with a coach to get, a consultation still, or if you need more sessions at a time, which would be the mental and emotional detox. Okay. This is so very, very vital for wives to understand based off of where they are on their journey. Okay. Again, depending on where that wife is and how much time it takes for her to get to a place of acceptance will determine her next steps. You're not going to know your next steps if you don't do the first step. You're not going to know the next step if you don't first do the first step. Okay. You need to get connected with the right source. If you are in a place of familiarity, I probably said that wrong. If you're in that place, you need to get connected with the right source. All right. Sermons, YouTube videos, hearing other people's stories, wife support groups, all those things are absolutely necessary at some point. All those things are necessary depending on the journey, depending on the season that you're in. But you need to connect with someone to give you like that foundational point, that foundational pinpoint of where you need to be. How and where am I now? Where do I go from here? What is next for me? What do I need to do? A lot of times, wives are not willing to take this first step, which keeps them in the same position longer than they have to be. Then they start going to, people who don't even know about this journey, people who don't understand this type of journey. So they start going to this person. They start going to this person. Oh, let me talk to this person over here. Oh, let me talk to this person over here. Let me see this person over here. And it's like, man, what are you doing? Stop this. Like, stop this, okay? You need to, your friends and your mama, them, your cousin, them over there, they might not understand. Your pastor may not necessarily even understand, but I do not discourage wives from going to see their pastor. It's like, go to your pastor first. I had a wife who had reached out to me recently, and, she's like, well, I made an appointment, with my pastor, we trying to do some counseling class. And my thing with that is, okay, so what would be your reason for wanting a wife coach? Because if you make that appointment with your pastor and you're trying to seek out counseling, go to those things first. Go see those things first, because what they're going to tell you is probably going to be something different than what I'm going to tell you. And so what I say to that wife is, if you are in a place where, you are like you're seeing your pastor, you may be seeing a therapist, you may be seeing, a counselor, you may be seeing somebody outside of a wife coach, right? And my thing with it is go to those places, go see what those, especially if you have not connected with a wife coach and seen a wife coach first. It's one thing if you have already connected with a wife coach and then you have a therapist or a counselor or whatever to journey along with you. But if your first step has been to do therapy or to do counseling or to, meet with your pastor, I say go and meet with them. Go meet with them and see what they say. Maybe what they say can help you at that time. I don't want to discourage wives from doing those things, right? But I know off of my own experience, off of the wives that I have already coached, you're going to get two different perspectives, because if that person has not walked through this journey themselves, they're not going to give you the same response that a wife coach who have walked through this journey have for you, right? And so I just want to again, caution you on when you make those steps and it's natural. It's natural for you to get therapy. It's natural for you to say, we need marriage counseling. It's natural for you to say, me and my husband need to go see somebody. But I share with wives all the time, if you are dealing with a narcissistic type of partner, counseling is not going to help that person. If you're dealing with a person who is in full addiction and who has not come to acceptance of where he is on his journey, or has not accepted that he has an addiction problem, whether it be substance abuse, whether it be drugs, whatever the situation may be, if they have not accepted that they have a problem and you're trying to force them to go to counseling, you wasting your money. You're wasting your money, you're wasting your time. And so even when I have, clients reach out to me on Google, from my Google business page, I have a lot of couples that, we want to do marriage counseling. We want to do marriage counseling. I give them an option to definitely see me now, because before I was just shutting it all the way down. But the Lord told me to pivot from there. He said, give them the option to see you as a wife coach, but also have referrals available just in case they do not. So it's like I could see you. I'm going to charge my fee that I'm going to charge you, but you may not necessarily want to see me, because you may want to have, a lot of times when you're dealing with a husband and wife, they want the husband and a wife counseling them, as well. And so it just depends on what that person is, what that person is on their journey. But for my wife, I always say, you need to connect with the right source. You need to connect with somebody who can help you on your journey. And sometimes taking those first steps of seeing your counselor, of seeing your therapist, of seeing your pastor, of, going through your wife small group, going through these different support groups. Maybe those are the steps that you need to take first before you connect with a wife coach. Because my question always is to the wife, why do you need a wife coach? What is it that you need me to help you with? My job as a wife coach, we're going to address your marital injury. I'm going to give you the spiritual understanding of what's going on in your marriage, what's going on with your husband, where you guys are. But from there, my job then is to help you to transform into a healthier version of you, right? It's to help you to transform to be a better you. It's to help you to be able to do this journey well as a wife going through this type of hardship, okay? So connect with the right source. Connect with the right source, all right? Sometimes wives are in this place for a long season, for a long period of time. And they struggle with, wanting to get a quick fix. They struggle with surrendering, and they struggle with moving towards the transformational part. If a wife is just stuck only on the part about my man, my marriage, my pain, my hurt, and she's not willing to heal and go to the next steps, she can get stuck in that place. And she can be in that place for a very long period of time, right? And sometimes wives do get stuck in those places because you're still trying to figure out how to get your husband back, how to get your marriage back to a healthy place, how to get your marriage back to how things used to be, but you're unwilling to accept the reality of what things are and where you are now, okay? Talking about transformation, okay? You are not willing to accept the things and where you are now. Okay. This is where the transformational part, of doing her own work kicks in, because we can sit in your grief and we can sit in your pain, and I can listen to your stories over and over and over again. And I can hold space for you to, talk about this and, talk about these things. And I can give you, my own experiences, my own transparency. I can give you different things that you can do. But if you are not willing to allow God to keep moving you along on this journey, you can get stuck and transformation does not ever take place for you. Okay. This is where I initiate wives to do the curriculum, Her Buoyancy Boost. My curriculum, Her Buoyancy Boost. Her Buoyancy Boost is a wife self-development curriculum to help wives to improve their lives, to help wives to transform into the persons that God is calling her to be. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and recently added financially. This is where I help wives to transform into a healthier version of herself. Her Buoyancy Boost is the making of his wife, okay? I call it Wife Discipleship School. I call it teaching wives how to be a disciple. Wife discipleship, wife discipleship schooling. Wives, you got to get past the injury that has taken place in your marriage, and you got to come into acceptance of where things are. And when you come to a place of acceptance and surrendering to what things are, then and only then are you able to move forward on this journey in the healthiest way. Okay. To take her buoyancy boost out of the equation, okay? And this is the wives who may have made a decision not to invest in themselves. To that person, and you don't move forward with the transformation, and you only just want to talk about your husband. I'm no longer just I'm not really coaching you at this point. Really, at this point, I'm just being your service provider or a minister, right? I'm just ministering to you. And again, certain times that is needed, as you need that to take place. You need that to happen when you are being ministered into. But to invest in yourself and to walk through the process, then I shift from just ministering to you to now I'm able to coach you. I'm able to coach you through certain things. I'm able to help you to get to a better place, to a healthier place. Now we can talk about your other earthly assignments that God has called you to. Because many times what I always share is wives are in a place where they feel like, oh, well, I'm just kind of like, here waiting on God to do something about my husband. And it's like, okay, but what you doing in the meantime? You waiting on God to do something about your husband, but what are you doing in the meantime to continue to move forward? What else does God have for you to do? What other assignments that God help you to do? One of the areas that I exceed in as a coach, as a wife coach, is in the areas of leadership and business. And so one of the things, like I always talk to y'all, I'm that wife coach who wants you to have your own coins. I want you to be independent on your own. So many wives I have encountered who have gone through this journey, when their husbands made a decision to pick up and leave the home, they were now in this stuck place, not having the necessary funds to take care of themselves. They did not have the necessary funds to take care of their children. They were not in a place or a position where they had the necessary funds to do what it is that they needed to do to maintain their life as an individual, even though that husband was no longer in there. They was completely dependent on this husband. And I always tell wives, if something happened to you, even if you have your husband there with you right now, if something happened to you today or tomorrow, are you able to maintain your household? If your husband gets into a car accident, he can't work no more. If your husband passes away, if a divorce takes place, are you able to maintain yourself? Are you able to take care of you and your children? Will you be able, or will you be in a position to continue your household duties and continue to run your household? And a lot of times I'm running into these with some of these wives where it's like, well, my husband was the breadwinner. So, I'm just kind of like in a place where, I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find work. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. And I'm saying, okay, that's fine. But what is it that you're good at? What is it that you're good at, and you can probably possibly turn into a business and be able to take care of you and your children? I'm not telling you not to work. I'm not telling you that you don't need a job. I'm telling you what is it that you are good at that you can do and make some extra money to take care of you and your children as you're going through this season of hardship in your marriage, as you're going through this season of marital distress, right? And so this is what the Harbonistic Boost is all about. It's to help transform that wife into a healthier version of herself. Okay, I don't want to just minister to you. That's part of this as a coach, but I want to actually be able to coach you and help you to get better on this journey. All right, I want to be able to give you the cheat sheet, in the words of Tim Ross. I want to be able to give you the cheat sheet so that you can be successful as a transformed Christian woman. I want to be able to give you the cheat sheet so you can be a successful, transformed Christian woman, because this area allows space to do that, right? This is what my curriculum, Harbonistic Boost, is all about. I want to be able to help that wife to get healthier, for her to see herself on the other side of the pain, for her to see herself on the other side of the discombobulation that's going on with her marriage. I want her to be able to see herself on the other side with her husband even being in the same place and her husband still, being stuck. And like I said, I've had several wives who have experienced their husbands coming home, their marriages being reconciled, but that husband relapsing, or that husband going back out, or that husband leaving again, or that husband, starting, his process all over again, because that husband have not fully surrendered, right? And so that wife, because she don't know what her husband may be dealing with, she don't know what her husband may be going through, so she needs to be in a healthy place for herself. So even if that husband have a moment of relapse, even if that husband does go backwards, even if that husband does make a decision to leave again, she's able to keep up and keep going. She's able to continue to move forward. Okay, this is so very important for wives to understand this. All right. After you take Harbonistic Boost, we are now able to go down different avenues and explore other areas of the person you are called to be. All right. Some wives don't ever get to this place, or they don't want to get to this place. And some are only concerned and want to talk about their marriages and their husbands, and they stay in that same place over again, year after year after year, time after time after time, day after day after day. You have options, okay? You have options. Your marriage injury may be how you may have started this journey out. It may have been how you have gotten to this place, but you have to understand that God wants to move you past the marital injury and get you to a healthier place, all right? This is the place where wives have accepted where things are in their marriages and are making decisions to trust God with their marriages. They are laser focused on getting healing for themselves. This is the investment curriculum. Harbonistic Boost is investment healing. This is one of my, this is the signature curriculum of my business, Harbonistic Boost, because this is the area where I really help wives to transform into that healthier version of herself. All right. Once wives have completed the curriculum, they are simply checking in, depending on her marital status. Okay, they are simply checking in either every month for the first year or every 3 months for accountability purposes. Okay, are you pursuing your other earthly assignments? How are you taking care of yourself? And have there been any changes in your marriage since we last spoke? Those are the 3 questions that I'm asking wives on a regular after they have finished and completed the Harbonistic Boost curriculum. We're not just completely going away from your marriage. We're simply just putting a pin in your marriage and allowing God to work on your marriage, like he's going to work on your marriage as you focus and work on yourself and get healed and healthy for yourself. All right. This is what these things are. This is what these things are doing. What I see a lot of times, and this is the part that is very, very hard for a coach. It's very, very hard for a person who has been walking with someone for a long period of time, who is very, very hard with a person who feel like they have made progress. And then all of a sudden this person like say, okay, thank you for your help. I'm done with you. I'm leaving now. I don't need your help anymore. Bye. This is the part that really, really is hard for coaches, because what I see is when things start to look good or get better for wives, usually these wives pull out or pull away from their check-ins and they get back to their old routines and their old ways of doing things, right? Their husbands come home, they're no longer sad, they feel like they have figured things out and they don't need any more help. Then months and months and months and months later pass by, something big happens again, something comes up, and then they call their coach back, and now it's like we're starting all over again. Instead of that wife doing her regular check-in regimens of checking in, now she is like back at square one, and it's like everything that has been taught, everything that has been shared, everything that has been given to her is like, it was a waste of time, right? It was a waste of time. The way that you stay healthy on this journey and stay consistent and stay in alignment with God is by being held accountable, by continuing to grow, learn, develop, and doing the work of the Lord. That's how you remain consistent on this journey. That's how you remain in alignment on this journey. That's how you allow transformation to work for you. All right. That's how you are being transformed. Healing is an ongoing journey, and learning is your daily responsibility as a student of Christ, right? Learning is just part of your assignment. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process. You have to continue to learn on this journey to get better, to get healthier, to continue to go, to continue to grow. You have to do that, all right? I always share with wives that it's not about arriving, because so many wives are trying to arrive. They're trying to get to this arrival place. It's not about arriving. It's about showing up. It's not about, oh, I have finally arrived. I have finally got to this place. No, you just showing up. You're only showing up. Something you will have to do daily to maintain this journey. Doing your work, wife, is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. And that's why the Bible tells us that we go from glory to glory to glory to glory. 2 Corinthians 3:18 says, but we are with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. What side of transformation are you on? Where are you on your journey? What is it that you're working on, wife? And if you're working on something, is that what God has told you to do? Is that what God has told you to work on? Or are you just doing it on your own? Where are you on this side of transformation? Where are you on this journey? All right. I know a lot of times, I come on and I try to share, transparency when it comes down to, your marriage, your husband. And a lot of times I know wives want to hear those types of messages. They want to know, well, how you handle this, or what about your husband here, or what about this, or what about that. And those are times when we do have moments when you share those kind of things. But then there's other times when we have to kind of like pivot and go to a place of, but what about you and your growth and your maturity and your transformation and your changes and the things that God is calling you to do. We have to pivot so that wife can see that it is more to this journey than just your husband. It is more to this journey than just your marriage. God is trying to work something out in you. All right. And so listen, I share with you ladies all the time that even as a coach myself, I have accountability. I have accountability. I have other assignments to do. God has me in a season right now of stretching, growing, developing. It doesn't stop when your husband comes home. It doesn't stop when things get better. It doesn't stop when God reconciles. It doesn't stop when, oh, okay, now I'm finally in this place in my life, so I don't have to deal with that no more. No, you are always on an assignment. God is always working something out with you. You're not necessarily doing the same assignment, but you're on an assignment. Okay. Your assignment, it just changed. It just changed with the season. It just changed based off of your growth. It just changed based off of, your transformation. It just changed based off of, where you are. You are always on an assignment. It doesn't change if your marriage doesn't go as planned. It doesn't change if God is still holding you accountable to change. God is still holding you accountable to change. It doesn't change if your marriage status doesn't change or it doesn't go as planned. God is still holding you accountable to change, to grow, and be transformed on this journey. Transformation is a requirement on this journey. Okay? Transformation is a requirement. This year is the first in many where I have seen God really, really move in my life in a way where I see He has established me. He has established me. And let me tell you, it has not been a easy task, okay, to put your foot on something, to be standing in something, and be established in this way. This is not an easy place. All right. It's not easy. But I know if I never would have grew and healed from my marital pain or some of the other pains that I have dealt with just in life, I wouldn't be in this place. Right. I had to go through my season of transformation, through my season of metamorphosis to be able to get to this place. All right. God has given me a platform to pour into other wives who are serious about getting the necessary help that they need. He has given me a gift that was discovered through my pain, through my marital pain, and what I suffered and went through. It brings healing to others. Right. But you have to be willing to transform in it. You have to be willing to go through that process. You have to be willing to go through those necessary steps to get to that place. How are you allowing God to transform you, wife? How are you allowing God to transform you? God trusts His wives because His wives impact the kingdom. God trusts His wives because His wives impact the kingdom. Y'all know I'm gonna promote my book. I'm gonna encourage you. I'm going to encourage you to go and get your book. If you have not gotten it already, get your book on His wife, right? Get your books. This book, I had one of my small group this week. Sometimes they want to know, like, what led you to write this book? Or, what was, the message that you want wives to get, through this book. This book is simply a manual to help wives to understand her place on this journey. To help her to understand that this is not necessarily about this book. We say a few things in this book about your husband. I share some prayers in here about your husband. I give you an understanding of maybe where things are. But this book is really to help wives to understand her place and her role. This book is really help wives to transform into a healthier version of herself. It's to give her understanding of what God is requiring from her, what God is expecting from her. Sometimes you may have been called to something very heavy. Like I said, every wife's journey is different. Every marriage have their own different type of assignment. So you may have been called to something a little bit more heavier than maybe the average person. Oh, well, this person, they over here having their best life. And this person over here, they getting divorced and moved on and they living their great life. But is that what God called you to? And you have to know what your assignment is. All right. You have to know what your assignment is, which leads me to the retreat her. All right. Retreat her. Listen, y'all, as your coach, I'm telling you, get healed, get healthy, get accountability because you have more work to do, right? You have more work to do. Retreat her, my woman's wellness transformation workshop has been a challenge. I can do wife stuff all day long. Like I can boom, 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 boom. I know how to move this. I know what to say. I know what to do. I can do it with my eyes closed. But when the Lord told me that I don't want this to be just for wives, I want this to be for women, it was like, that was more challenging because it's like, you got to think about women, as a whole, like, it's different parts of a woman, like a flower. And so it's like, you got to think about this part of a woman and this part of a woman. And the person is going through this, the person is going through this, and the person is going through this. As a wife who's dealing with a specific audience, I know how to speak specifically to that wife. But when you're dealing with a woman, it's like, oh my God. And so it has been a challenge, right? Retreat her has been a challenge. We really, really, really do not know our own strength until we tap into His strength. You really, really do not know your own strength until you tap into His strength. And so yesterday I had went and visit the venue again. And baby, your coach broke down, okay? I was like, done. I came in there a warrior, but baby, by the time it was all said and done, I had them broke all the way down. I had them broke down. And I do not think ever in my life I have broken down that way in front of a total stranger. Like, I don't think I have ever broke down like that way, because the weight of this retreat has been so heavy. It has been really, really heavy. But God used this lady to remind me and to give me a warning. He used her to do both. He used her to remind me and give me a warning. And she said to me that the enemy want me to get ill before this event. Right? That the enemy wants me to get ill before this event. And then she also had to remind me that God chose me to do this event, and therefore I had to trust God with the outcome. All right? My personality is I'm all hands on. Like, I want my hands in it. I want to be able to see what, how this is moving, how that is moving. And it's like God has been giving me like little pieces, bits and pieces, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And it has been very, very challenging for me. I'm telling you, it has been very, very challenging for me. But God had this woman to help me bounce back. Come on, Jesus. He had this woman in place to help me to bounce back and to see the vision again that he had called me to and that he has trusted me with. Why? Your transformational journey, it does not stop with just your marriage. It does not stop with your husband. There's much, much work for you to do. Okay? I know that Retreat Her is going to be a fabulous event because the enemy has been attacking me since I started it. All right? But he's powerless. He is powerless, and God is powerful. God has even confirmed a few of the enemy's attacks, and how the very thing that they have, tried to come for me on, it has backfired on them. Okay. And God has dealt with them. God has dealt with them by fire. God has dealt with certain things by fire. It has been a whole list of things. Like I said, this week has been a whole list, from people, from things, from environments, from situations. It has been a list of things. But one of the things I can stand 10 toes down on and say, but God is faithful. But God is faithful. If he has chosen you for this journey, if he has chosen you to be on this place, he has chosen you to be here for a specific reason. Okay. God is faithful. Isaiah 54:17 has been my new Bible verse in this season, along with, God surrounded me around a group of Christian women who have impacted my life, who have helped me, but who are also dependent on me to take the vision God has given me to full fruition. It's like the challenge has been, I want you to carry this all the way to the finish line, right? You have other people dependent on you. It's not just like you and your business as a wife coach and you have your clients. Like, these women are dependent on you in a different type of way as well. And so you got to show up. you got to show up. It is a very, very heavy responsibility, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it because my God is faithful. I'm here for it because my God lives. I'm here for it because my God is a true redeemer. I'm here for it because he told me to do it. I'm here for it because it's an assignment that he has given me and he has trusted me with, and I know he's going to help me with it. Why? You have to look at your place of transforming as God moving you along on your journey and aligning you with the plans that he has for your life. You have to see your transformation as such. All right. You have to see your transformation as such. And so for Women's Month, the Retreat Her tickets, they are now on sale. All right. They are now on sale. So you can purchase your ticket today and retreat yourself this spring, April 26th to the 27th. Those 2 days are full days of, self-care treatment, learning, wellness, breakout sessions, pampering, praise, dancing, celebration. It's 2 full days of just, teaching women how to retreat themselves. Like I said, the location that we're in is in I said Atlanta surrounding area, so it's in the Alpharetta area. Very, very nice area. They have all these nice restaurants and places nearby, all these different, places that you can go and experience. The hotel is a brand new hotel. Only been up, not even 2 years yet. So it's brand new. Just a really, really nice place for you to just say, I want to get away. All right. I want to get away. And especially for the ones who are in places and in seasons of transformation, and you are becoming, and God is making you into the person that he wants you to be. He's making you into that bride, his wife that he wants you to be. Sometimes you need to take a little break. Right. Sometimes you need to be like, let me get myself, rebuilt, let me get myself, back in alignment. Let me get myself back into a stronger, healthier place. And so I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to come be a part of this. Come be a part of this. Even if you are in a different state, you can travel. You can travel to this event. I'm telling you, and spend every bit of $500. Okay. You don't need a whole lot of money for this event. And like I said, right now the tickets are on sale. So the tickets are discounted for Women's Month. Take advantage of this. Take advantage of this. Don't wait until the last minute to take advantage of this. Take advantage of this. Get your tickets. Bring your girlfriends with you and come retreat yourself. Right? Come and retreat yourself. In the meantime, if you are a wife and you are ready to do your own personal work, or you are in a season of emotional pain and you still have questions about your marriage hardship, I want to encourage you to sign up for your wife consultation today. All right. You can sign up today at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. In the meantime, listen, it is Self-Care Saturday. I want to encourage you to do something that you enjoy doing. Get out the house, move around, take yourself out, put your feet up, watch TV, eat your favorite food, whatever it is. All right. Long as you stay in the premises of being what's the word, holy. I always tell everybody, do something healthy, holy. Make sure you're doing something holy. Do what you want to do, but make sure you ain't stepping out of out of line and something that God may judge you on or question you about. But go and enjoy yourself. Go do something that you enjoy doing. Get out the house. Listen, go purchase your book, His Wife. Bring it to the retreat so I can sign it, and I'll see y'all in April. Okay, listen. Happy Self-Care Saturday, wives. Happy Self-Care Saturday. I'll talk to you soon. Blessings.